articulatory phonetics. Within articulatory phonetics, we are concerned with the articulation of speech sounds, the processes and the movements which are involved in the formation of speech sounds. There are main concerns of articulatory phonetics. Like we start with airstream mechanism, that how is the airstream formulated, how it is created. Most of the human languages, they use a pulmonary airstream mechanism, like the pressure which is required for speech production, that is created from lungs. Okay, so airstream mechanism is one of the major concern. And then we also discuss speech production. Like for consonants, we discuss places of articulation, then manner of articulation, and also phonation. That what type of manner is involved, what type of articulation is there, and then from which part of the oral or nasal cavity the sound is articulated. And then what was the position of the larynx, the sound box. So these three are for the description of consonants. Okay. Then we are also concerned with the oronasal process, that how is the air passage going through the oral cavity, and then how it is molded and how it is going through the nasal cavity, right? So that's also one of the major concerns of articulatory phonetics. And then we are also concerned with vowel production, that what are the positions, various positions of tongue involved for various vowels. So we are concerned with these three major concerns within articulatory phonetics, right? Okay, so let me show you this picture, right? Like we are starting with the airstream mechanism. Airstream mechanism, like how is from diaphragm, and then with the help of lungs, the air passage is created, and the pressure, required pressure for the speech sounds, that is created, and it's going through the windpipe, which is the trachea, to the larynx. Larynx is also called a sound box. So there are various processes which are carried out within this sound box, right? Phonation, that is called phonation. Okay, so phonation processes, and then above larynx, articulation. Articulation above larynx, like within oral cavity, if it is oral cavity, or within nasal cavity, like how is the sound going through nasal cavity, or how it is going through oral cavity, right? So these four are the major concerns of articulatory phonetics. And then we may also discuss some more issues within articulatory phonetics, like aggressive, ingressive discussion. Aggressive, when the air which was taken as oxygen, basically, that's used, and when it is going out from the lungs and through the, the process of just getting the air out of mouth. So that is called aggressive, when the speech sounds are produced while pushing the air out of lungs and through mouth. So that is called aggressive. And then there are some, ingressive sounds also in some languages. Like in English or Urdu, we use some sounds which are the a good example of ingressive, system of like when you are using the air while taking it into your lungs, while pushing it into your system, you are speaking like the sounds, right? Or clicks like, right? So these are the sounds which are produced while the air is taken into the mouth cavity and through windpipe. Okay, so that can also be discussed within articulatory phonetics. And then we are concerned with movements and speech structure, that what sort of movements are involved, how are the tongue and lips working within the speech production, within various sounds, and then how are the vocal folds move within larynx. So various movements and speech structure are involved. Within larynx, we are concerned with vocal cords, the glottis, like the air passage, that how does it work for voice sounds, and then how does it work for voiceless sounds. So that's also the discussion point within articulatory phonetics. And articulatory kinematics, basically that's the study of movements, that how movements are there, right? What types of movements are taking place for specific sounds, okay? So movements of specific sounds, that's the discussion point for articulatory phonetics. And how do we plan articulation? And then how do we control articulation? That's one of the major points within articulatory phonetics. Overall, articulatory phonetics covers the processes, the movements, which are basically required for the production of speech sounds.